and mash it up. Mash it up. Every successive year, tourism numbers are diving and diving and diving. The only thing you see an increase in tourism is you see the increase in the size of the Minister of Tourism. A lie? A lie? I know I ain't lying. But they said they will have a land use policy too, where they will be reserving significant portions of land for agriculture. Did they do that? Man, the only thing they have done is succeeding in destroying this country. I mean, it is bad, 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 bad. But it gets worse, you know. Who said they will give back the people the money for Clico and they had a solution? They said so. Was that done? They said they was going to have a fancy project in St. Lucie. Was that done? Oh Lord, they had one in St. Philip too. Was that done? I tell you, these boys don't have a good report. And if I was their teacher, I would have to expel them. Bad, 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 bad. You were going to tell these fellas, go and do what Frandel said. Go cut cane, boy. This is a bad, bad government. At a time where you need people to come forward with ideas to help to put things in line, to see us climb out of the dirt. These men are burying us. I have never seen a government so bad any place at all on earth. Even the people in Haiti have a better government than these boys, man. This is bad. And Framble Stewart telling people, but don't criticize his leadership style. Huh? But I can deal with him later, though. He criticized their leadership style. Framble Stewart, you have no leadership and you have no style, man. None. This is foolishness, man. We need savior. We need help. We need the Barbados Labour Party. We need Owen Arthur. We need the Team Barbados Labour Party. Talking about help. I bring a man to you here, my good friend. I ain't no guru in economics. I don't know anything about economics. But when he starts to speak to you and he starts to talk about the endogenous and exogenous forces and he started to talk about stochastic forecasting and those things, that man ain't no ordinary man, you know. I talking about Clyde Mascoll!
I don't want them, not them again. Tell me what you want. Bring the change. Barbados Labour Party. Tell me what you want. B.L.P. Tell me what you want. B.L.P. Tell me what you want. B.L.P. Louder. B.L.P. Louder. B.L.P. New government. We done with them. We want B.L.P. Let's rebuild this economy.
Good night. Well, tonight I am here to analyze the Democrat Labour Party government. I'm speaking to you on a topic called, Oh, How Times Have Changed. And I'm going to demonstrate to you tonight, by way of information which we'll put up, that the things affecting Barbados are not as a result of any international environment, but a result of very poor quality leadership and governance on the part of this administration. Now, even though I'm not contesting the election, and I've spent my time in the last couple of years trying to become a doctor of economics, and I've finished my thesis I will have to defend sometime soon. I apparently have been the center of attention on the platform. But I continue to wonder why there's so much attention. I am now all red. All red. So please understand, my mission is to come and assist wherever I can the Barbados Labour Party to correct the ills in Barbados. But you know, I have a little thing that I do on Thursday in the nation, where apparently I have offended quite a few. But tonight, we don't have long speeches, but we have effective speeches. I want to show you, by way of some of the screens here, how in fact Barbados is in trouble as a result of domestic policy. In fact, I am going to assess this government on its job number one, which you remember as cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. I'm going to assess them on employment, where we have lost 16,000 jobs over the last 5 years. I'm going to assess them on the fact that the Barbados economy is the last to come out of recession in the Caribbean. I'm going to assess them on the poor management style, not only of the current fella, but the one who passed. Because you all remember, when we were saying that something is wrong and something has to be done, he talked about doom and gloom and was very critical. So with the help of those behind me, I now invite you to look at the screen and understand where I'm going here tonight. Let me just explain to you, first of all, that while it is true that most of what we buy in Barbados comes or spend on comes from abroad, it is also true that we can make a difference. And therefore, if you're telling me that a government has to wait until an international recession is over in order to be able to do something for our people, why do we need a government? Why it is that lazy Frandel Stewart, who has not held a ministry of substance over the last 4 years, has not been in a position to assist anyone in Barbados. You heard Gregory talk about the other fellow. Look where I am. Next to me is the Ministry of Finance. And the time has so changed that Sinclair is a Minister of Finance in Barbados. A Minister of Finance who does not understand the issues. A Minister of Finance who has stumbled on several occasions over the last 3 to 4 years. A Minister of Finance who is an obvious liar. He tells lies. And we all know it. But he believes that politics is just about entertainment and not looking for policies to assist the Barbadian public. Now let me show you on that screen, and you can recall that in the budget of 2010, that the government increased the VAT from 15% to 17.5%. You can recall that. You can also recall that the government increased the excise tax by 50%. You can recall that. Therefore, people, I want you now to go on a little journey with me. Let us accept that all Caribbean countries have to import oil. Perhaps, in fact, indeed, with the exception of Trinidad. So therefore, all Caribbean countries are facing the same environment. Historically, Barbados has had the lowest rate of price increases in the Caribbean, historically. But if you look and see that in the year 2011, Barbados's increase in prices rose to 9.4%, when the rest of the region was only averaging just under 5% in terms of rising prices. So therefore, there must be something other than international prices that would have caused Barbados's prices to increase. And that something would be the domestic policy that the government imposed on you in the 2010 budget, which caused our rise in prices to be higher than any other country in the region. Therefore, let no governor of the central bank come and tell you that what we are experiencing is simply a result of an international recession. Let no sir come to a call-in program with me, and when asked whether or not he's here to discuss the economy, he said that he did not read the report. The reason why? They are afraid to confront the issues here in public. So he digressed on to Dr. World. Now, how come Dr. World can go to Japan and question the managing director of the IMF, but I am unable to question what he does? Well, who is Dr. World? That he can question the managing director of the International Monetary Fund and has had to apologize for the way he behaved, but he is incapable of being questioned. It is unbelievable. What's good for the goose? Thank you. But it doesn't stop there. You people are here, and you have experienced over the last 4 to 5 years what we all have experienced. You better believe it. Are there any public servants in the audience? Have you had an increase in salaries? Have you experienced an increase in food prices? Has your water bill gone up? Has your electricity bill gone up? Has your insurance costs gone up? Therefore, if you have not had an increase over the last 4 years, and all of these things have gone up, are you better off? Do you want to be better off? Hope is coming. So, let us not fool ourselves to say that something can't be done. Well, this is impossible. That you're telling me that a country that has over the years experienced difficulty, but used its skills to come out and be respected as the #1 developing country in the world, now all of a sudden does not have the skills to even engage in the difficulties that we are having. So you are worse off. What can we do for you? Do you want money in your pockets? Do you believe that we can put money in your pockets? As usual. Therefore, it is just a matter of time. Don't be despair. We are here to rescue Barbados. But let me go further, because as I speak to you, all of the old talk about tourism not performing, do you know that among the 24 countries in the region which engage in tourism, that Barbados is now ranked in terms of worst performance at number 22? Barbados is ranked at number 22. So while Jamaica is experiencing increases in tourism, while St. Lucia, now, to get to St. Lucia from Britain, you come through Barbados. So how come St. Lucia is performing better than Barbados out of the British market when you have to come here to get there? So it therefore means that St. Lucia should be more expensive to reach than Barbados. So how come? It has to be the case that something is wrong. What is wrong? This government has performed poorly in relation to managing this economy in every respect. Has to be changed. But I don't mind, simply because I don't like to waste time. I ain't got the time. And the truth is, Barbadians need help, and they need it quickly. So we cannot spend this election doing what was done last time. Now Thompson was a liar too. An absolute liar. But Chris Sinclair is an even better liar than Thompson. And that is a fact. You can recall the things he said and the insinuations he made about all kinds of things in relation to Lil Mascoll. You can't forget it, can you? So why, if Mascoll ain't good, why do you want him? Forget him. He has gone. Right. Forget him. But let me move. Because contrary to what is being said, we have put together a program for you, the good people of Barbados, that will make a substantial difference. The leader will indicate to you some aspects of that. But I have been in the engine room, and I have been given the go-ahead to speak to some of these matters. Let me speak to the most pressing one for you. Now, you know that I participated in the electricity rate hearing. You're aware of that? Do you know that your light bill, and I want those at the back to put the light bill up and tell me if it is up. Your light bill is made up of several things. But let me say this to you. The fuel adjustment clause and the VAT account for 69% of your light bill. Lots of people don't know it. I repeat, there's a little chart there on the screen showing you that your light bill, according to the Barbados Light and Power, is made up predominantly of the fuel adjustment clause and the value-added tax. Now here's what can be done. The Barbados Light and Power is the main customer of the Barbados National Oil Company. The Barbados Light and Power sales account for over 60% of the revenue of the oil company of Barbados. It therefore means that if that is true, and it is true, that the Barbados National Oil Company makes most of its profit from selling oil to the Barbados Light and Power. Now, here is how the fuel adjustment clause works on your electricity bill. There is an anticipation in the coming month of what your usage would be, such that when the Barbados Light and Power buys oil from BNOC, it then makes a decision of how much electricity usage there would be in the coming month. That total usage among residents and commercial properties is then used to divide the total bill, and whatever that figure comes to becomes the fuel adjustment clause for the month. It therefore means that if the Barbados National Oil Company is making a barrel of money in profits simply from importing a product out of Trinidad, which comes to the BNOC and then is passed on to the Barbados Light and Power, it therefore means that we can obviously do something about the fuel adjustment clause. Why should BNOC be allowed to make $50 and $60 million in profit per year when we can take some of that profit and pass on to the users of electricity in the form of lowering the fuel adjustment clause? But hear me, because they can't question me on these things. These things are researched. Hear me. There will be a reduction, therefore, in your value-added tax on the electricity bill. But that's not all. More important thing is this. It does not make sense to give the commercial entities a reduction in the fuel adjustment, because there is no guarantee that that reduction will be reflected in any reduction in prices. So what we will do, we will take part of the profits of BNOC, reduce your fuel adjustment clause with it, and pass on that benefit to you as a consumer, and therefore allow you to have more money where? But there are other things. Now, this is not rocket science, because the research shows that if we are to reduce the value-added tax from 17.5% back to where it was, it would only cost the government of Barbados $12 million to do so. Now, why can't we spend $12 million on you? 104,000 households utilize electricity in this country. Do you remember where $10 million went in CLICO? From the central bank? Do you know, have you seen any benefit from it? But we have now discovered that the persons involved in CLICO were in fact ripping off the consumers and the customers. But you know that $10 million went from central bank to CLICO, so therefore what is wrong with spending $12 million in reducing the VAT to help Barbadians see a lower electricity bill? Can be wrong. But there's more than that. Because, let me say this to you, there are other measures, but we can't talk all now. I've got to keep some for later. So what I'm saying to you is that you can rest assured, people, that every measure in the manifesto, there has been a costing to ensure that while we will give relief, tax relief to Barbadians, we will not be reckless. We will not be reckless, because we understand that Barbados' name in the international community is important. This government has not understood that fact for the last 4 to 5 years. That's why we experienced 2 downgrades. So there wouldn't be any recklessness on our part. But understand it. You cannot manage an economy if you don't like to work. Stuart is allergic to work. No, he is allergic to work. Sinclair is mouthy. In fact, I was told that he referred to me pejoratively in this spot, something about some pooch. You all heard about it? But you know that around those kind of characters, I will have to squeeze my pooch. In fact, I had tremendous practice in squeezing my pooch, just to ensure no entry. But on another note, though, and the girls could tell me, how a man that looked this good, look at me. A man that looked this good could be looked at in ridicule by a bunch of fellows who are now overweight. Big guts, big necks, heads, arms, feet. Good night. May God bless you.
Tell me what you want. B-O-B. Louder. B-O-B. Louder. B-O-B. B-O-B. New government. Be done with them. We want BLP. Let's rebuild this economy. More jobs and opportunity. Them ain't doing nothing for me. We want BLP, cause we need a change. People want new government. Tell me what's the name? B-O-B. Everybody come follow me. We want BLP. B-O-B. This is the right thing for me.
I just want to say that we have decided in the Barbados Labour Party to keep our campaign very, very clean. But if you are compelled to speak the truth about a dirty